myself, have confidence, stop doubting myself, stop thinking I'm stupid and the ugliest and worst person on the planet. I'm gonna reverse all of those things and start loving myself. Maybe then I'll truly be happy and be able to find someone that actually does love me for who I am and will choose me to be their one. Well, right now, it's May 6th, 2021, and I'm better. I'm getting there. I'm still depressed. I'm still a little lost. Still have no friends, but I have family. And that's every single one of you. And I'm so grateful for you. And this is the part of the video where I want to use my experiences to inspire you. My light derived from my pain. I used my pain as a weapon to fight for what I want. I used my pain to find myself, to keep going. All that heartbreak, all that self-doubt, all that pain I've been through in my life, I'm gonna use that as a fuel, as a fire. All of that pain is gonna be a fuel that keeps fueling that fire more and more. And no matter what, I'm gonna keep fighting. 300,000 subscribers or 0, whatever it takes, I'm gonna keep fighting until I'm happy. So don't think that just because you see me successful on social media and YouTube that I'm happy. I'm happy and smiling because of those I met, because of the messages I get and the love I get every single day. But it doesn't mean I'm fully happy. To find myself, to be truly happy, I have to keep fighting. And you have to keep fighting too. You have to find that light. Every one of us has that light inside of us that is just waiting. It's just waiting. It's like a star in the sky. It may be so distant, but one day you'll be able to see it bright. You'll see yourself as the brightest star. No matter how distant that future may be, could be tomorrow, could be an hour from now, could be years. You gotta keep looking up, even if you don't know what you're looking at. Because eventually you're gonna find yourself, you're gonna find that star, that bright star, and say, I did it. I fought my whole life, I looked up my whole life, and it finally paid off. And I truly believe, I know from the bottom of my heart, I promise you, every single one of us, every single one of you watching this, even those that hate me, people that won't watch this, people that dislike the video, you have that inside of you. You have that light, that fire, that fuel, and you're gonna be something one day if you aren't already. You're gonna find your happiness if you haven't found it already. Just don't give up. If I gave up, I wouldn't have met all of you. And wherever I would have taken myself, whatever next life, hell, heaven, whatever there is, I would regret it if someone showed me the possible future I would have had. So yeah, that's my story. You would have never guessed that someone like me would have a story like that, I'm sure. Watching my videos, you would think I'm so happy that I never struggled in my life or had real person problems, but hopefully now you know. And anyone on the street, anyone you go to school with, any of your friends, strangers, they could be going through the same thing. We don't see problems. It's unseen. It's something no one could see, but everyone has them. Everyone. I don't want you to worry about me. I never want to worry people that love me or people I love. Even if you don't love me, I love you. I love every single one of you. And because of this channel, I actually met a different girl, and I love her. She makes every day better. She makes every day worth living. I hope it works out. If it doesn't, I don't know. I'm not gonna say if it doesn't work out, I'm gonna do something. No. As always, if something doesn't happen the way I want it to, I have to keep going. I have to keep fighting. And that's my message for you. I love you guys so much. Thank you. I don't want to worry you. I don't want to make you sad. I want this video to explain to you that not everything is how it seems, that everyone has their own problems. I want this video to help someone that thinks they're alone, that they are not alone. Someone they see like me that thinks I'm so big, has the same problems that they do. Hopefully that will inspire them. And I just want to let you know I'm here for you. I'm here for every single person that has a problem. Even if I can't answer because I get a lot of messages, just know that you have a friend in me. I'll try my best. But yeah, that's it. I love you guys. Bye.
Wow. Nick, just from somebody who is 15 years your senior. There's just been so many things where I've been thinking like, gosh, what's going on with this youth? But then people like you totally redeem like the entire group. So thank you. Thank you for sharing your heart with all these people. Thank you for just God is love. Therefore, I feel I am God. Like I, like you, am just nothing but love. You know, because the only other choice other than acting out of love is acting out of fear, which, you know, listening to your story where you were talking about just watching all those people, you know, chasing a dream or starting a career or, you know, just progressing. You know, like I know exactly that like just having to observe that and just like knowing like within ourselves, just like I would love to be there, but I know like I know this about myself, you know, like I would love that, but yeah, I mean, you got it. You know, you identify it as social anxiety. Like you're on the right path. And if anything, I'm creating this video because I feel like I'm able to help you get to this next step, Nick. Because I love you, man. I love your heart, your spirit, and just your vulnerability. You know, that is a quality that so many few humans, like I, again, fear showing like that side of themselves, like to the public, or even, you know, in this digital age, like on YouTube and stuff like that. So, you know, I just started my channel. I'm on 7 subscribers, but, you know, I know you got a great following. I know your heart is in the right place. And so if I can help you just really, really show you your light, because bro, you're beaming, but it's like you got, you know, like, I don't know. You know, I remember going to the eye doctor. They put like some droplet in my eye where they're just like, yeah, do you have like a ride home? Because you're not gonna be able to drive. And I was just like, what? But it's just like, you know, it's just, I couldn't like the light was just so bright and I just couldn't, I wanted to open my eyes to see it, but it was like too painful. Does that make sense? And I feel like that's just kind of where you are. Like just listening to your words, hearing you speak. I know that the universe brought me to you to do this. So, again, my name's Charles Pang. I'm 40 years old. Anxiety, yeah. They should have a picture of my book or in the dictionary with my face. Is this like, yeah, look at this guy's life. He'll tell you all about anxiety. And then sub 2, we can put Nick. But, yeah, Nick, all my life, I just wanted to help people. Because I'll tell you what, you're 25 now. Like, yeah, I didn't really truly find myself until these past couple of weeks after these chain of events. But that's like a different level of just like life. But where you're at, 25, like when I look back at 25, I just dropped out of college. Like I came out of high school with, I was on honor roll. Like I just had so much potential, but I just had no path that I wanted to follow that was an option for me to follow. Like my dad told me, Charles, yeah, like after high school, you can go to college and you can be anything you want. You could be a doctor or a lawyer, anything you want. And then I told him, like I just maybe want to study business. And he was like, no, you have to be a doctor or a lawyer, anyone you want. It's like, well then Dad, no, I don't want to be either of those. So yeah, when I told them like, if that's my only choice, then I'm not ready to do that. And I asked for a year off and they just told me like, well, if you take a year off, then you're just going to never want to go back to school. Go to school, just get it done. It's only 4 more years. And I was just like, how do you not understand that these next 4 years aren't just like 4 years like high school? It's just like, these are the 4 years that ultimately are going to prepare me for the rest of my life in the future. So like, why can't, like it was just so like, just growing up under like strict Korean parents, like in an American world and just like watching how my American friends would be loved by their parents, and I come in and they're like, oh, who are you? And I'm like, I'm Charles Pang. And they're like, are you like the Charles Pang that we see? Like, like every semester, my high school would like mail out like some booklet that just listed all the names of kids on honor roll. And I guess like, they're like, I see your name on that list, like every book, like what are you hanging out with my kid for? And I was just like, I don't know, like we're just friends. We both like skate and stuff like that. And like, they would just give me so much love. And like, it was just, like you said, just like, it's like checking month after month, like, oh my gosh, like my like, it's just like, oh my God, you're seeing like this new connection, if that makes sense. So I totally understand like what you were expressing, just like, just feeling so alone and then starting this channel, not knowing what's going to happen and just like watching it from infancy to like now, you said I'm like totally envious at this point. Just like, wow, this guy. But again, envy is a sin. And I hate to use the word envy, but honestly, if I can say like, you give me hope that if somebody who is doing, like if you can do it, I know I can do it. Like that's just my attitude. If I see another human being able to do it and I really want to do it, then I can do it. Like great example. As a couple of days ago, I told my mom, like this part of my life, turning 40, before this, I was just like in the mental, like I'm a comedian, like I'm stand-up comedian. And then, comedy burnt out. And then I was just like, gosh, what am I going to do? Like, well, I'm gonna be, I don't know. I don't know. And so like I was going through this limbo again. So like just to let you know, like that's never gonna stop. It's always just gonna be like, what am I doing? But again, like that is what human beings should do. There's a term called narcissist that is just like totally misunderstood. You know, like I don't know if you've ever heard of Quora, but you know, I go on like narcissist spaces where I just read these posts by people who are just like, I'm a victim of narcissistic abuse, and just like it's just that. It's just like, yeah, you know, I was with a narcissist who just blah 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 blah, and it's just like, hold on, like what are we talking about here? Like a narcissist is a person who just the world revolves around them. You know, like that's it. Like they're self-centered. Again, like that's the term where it's just like self-centered, okay? To me, just literal sense. It's just I'm not on one extreme of myself. I'm not on the other extreme. I'm centered. So to me, self-centered is like the ideal. But I go around telling people, yeah, I'm self-centered. You know, just because I know how they're gonna react. At this point, I know. And I just wanna get that reaction. And so if anything, like you giving me hope, like I hope that you just seeing me, like, trust me, bro. I was exactly like you. And I hope that if anything, I give you hope, just like, yo, if this guy says like you're gonna be like awesome. Like I just hope that you have the same feeling of like inspiration that you gave me. You know, like that would mean the world to me. Because I really relate to you, and I feel like you have the gift. You have the gift that God gave you. Love. God is love. That's my fundamental belief, you know? And the rest of that book is just smoke and mirrors, but God is love, you know? And so many people forget that. So when I tell you I'm God, you're God, just know, bro, that just means like I'm love, you're love, you know? Like, and I want to start a movement where people just talk like that. They express like that. You know, like, hey, how you feeling? Yeah, you know, I'm God. Today I'm God. You know? And then if you're not feeling cool, you know, it's just like, hey, how are you doing? It's just like, ah. You know, like that's the world I see where it's just like, that's how we as like the outside can recognize just like when somebody like you or me is just kind of, yeah. You know, we don't want to worry anybody and just be like, oh, I just feel like crap, dude. Like I'm in that dark black phase again. You know, like I know how hard that is, but like I ask myself, why is it so hard just to be vulnerable? And like I said, I'm somebody who's just always been myself, you know, and I could be like happy and then just like talk about something and just like get emotional, cry, but then I come out of it. And so like people are automatically like, Charles, I think you're like bipolar. I'm like, what? And I look up bipolar. It's like, yeah, they just have extremes where they're happy. It's like, yes, I'm bipolar, you know, and then I accept that. And then people are just like, don't you think you need medication? And I'm just like, for what? Like, so that you're not bipolar. And I'm like, if I'm not like happy and if I'm not like sad, what am I gonna be? Like that's human. That's, yes, you know, like what people, I mean, like, I don't know. You know, like my family has told me like, Charles, you are not normal. And I'm like, yeah, Dad, you know, you've told me that for 30 years now. I got it. You know, but at this point, you got to understand that if you go up to somebody and tell them you're not normal, logically, from that person's perspective, you're not normal either. So it's just like, automatically it's just that disconnect. And then that's when I learned how important not only our own self-talk, in our minds that you're having, like the words that we're using in our self-talk are just so much more powerful than people, especially at your age, have realized yet. And again, if I can help you just speed up that education process to help your following, because I'm sure, somebody who just stays in their room, like me and you, just like know what's going on in the world. And again, at 40, like, Nick, I'm like scared for the future of humanity. Like I feel that this light of the human conscience is burning out. But again, it's people like you who just totally, you just give me the fuel that I need just to not give up. Not give up and just say like, screw it. Like, yeah, I'll help whoever, I come in contact with. Why am I even trying to just put myself out there to be available for people like you who, like, I know that you can do so much good, but then it's just like, oh no, I don't know. It's just like, I want you to succeed so much, but I've had so many friends who just, I thought they were there, and then just somewhere they just fell off, and after so many of those friends just like dropping away on Facebook like that, just at your age 25, like I recognized that Facebook was a huge problem for me, especially when I realized, like, reading my wall, the comments, and I'd see like, oh, this is visible to the public. This is only visible to my friends. This is just only me. And just like, wow. And it was just like, just like, here you go, Charles. This is it. This is what you're scared to let people know, or this, like, it just said a lot about me to the point where I was just like, okay, well, I'll just get off Facebook. And I did it for a while, and then I came back. I was doing good, but then I got back in this funk, and then did the same thing, and then came back. And by the like third time, where I'm just like, geez, like, I'm all about like, circles and just like repeating, but it's just like, at some point I just got to be like, dude, I don't want to go on this ride anymore. I want to go on a different ride, like, but how do I get on that different ride? And I couldn't do it without just being able to take myself away from Facebook. And so like, I told my closest friends, like, these are kids that I grew up with since middle school. And I just told them, look, I'm going to kill myself on Facebook. And obviously they're like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, I was at a point where it's just like, I hear you like, you don't have any friends. Like, I had a lot of friends, and then like when I started college and I started like selling weed and just like getting into drugs, like my friend, count was exponentially multiplied. And this was like way before social media. So again, I can relate to like just how powerful that is, just to like, oh my gosh, all of a sudden like I'm in the limelight, and I've always been in the limelight, but now like girls, like I lost a lot of weight. My freshman year, I lost like 35 pounds from all the drugs and partying that I did, and just my freshman year, and like when I came back for break, like my closest friends were terrified. But then when I go up to college, everybody thought like, dude, you're so hot. Like girls were just like, wow, you got like a really hot body. And I'm just like, what? I haven't worked out or anything like that. And what that did to my psyche was just like, all this time, like, here I am, like, dealing with just my own self-image, and then I just do this, and all of a sudden my self-image improves. I'll just keep doing this. And, it's a terrible excuse, but, like, I feel like that was just my reasoning. Like, I remember again, too, like, the first time I took a pill of ecstasy. And I hope, whatever, but I'm not recommending it, but I just didn't know what was going to happen. And I took it in my room, and then it hit me, and I just, like, it's like, I need to talk to somebody. And I just, like, came out, and the only people were, like, my parents in the living room. And I'm just like, Mom, Dad, like, I've just been a terrible son. I'm just so sorry for all the pain that I've caused you. It just, like, broke down. And I should remember, like, I didn't do any drugs, anything. I just studied and rollerbladed all the way up to my senior year. And then, I smoked pot for the first time. I was just like, wow, I don't have any worry in the world. Like, this is awesome. And so, like, yeah, I started smoking pot and selling pot my senior year. And so, like, right there, I already made, like, a complete change. And then, again, like, this conversation that I'm having with my parents is, like, maybe 3 months of, like, smoking pot, and, like, they said to me, it's just like, Charles, like, thank you for saying that, and we just want you to know that, like, these past couple months, we've noticed a really good change in you. And we just want you to know that we recognize that. And we're proud that you're off the drugs. And I was just like, what are you talking about? Like, and again, before this, it's just like anything that I did wrong or just like, oh, I don't want to study right now. What do you want, drugs? So it's just like when they're just like, yeah, we've noticed that you've gotten off drugs. And I'm just like, in these past couple months, like, the only thing that changed is I started smoking pot. Like, the irony that when I start doing drugs, my family finally tells me that I'm not on drugs. Like, do you understand? Like, it was like a self-fulfilling prophecy, essentially. But, like, again, it's no excuse for me or anybody just to be like, that's the reason just to go binge out and just, like, ruin 10 years of a life. But again, it happened. I can't change it. I just have to find a way to use it as fuel to keep me going and just not give up hope. But I feel that that's different from the way that you worded just, like, how you're using this as your fuel, So before this video gets any longer, again, just, Nick, thank you just for being human. There's so not enough people who just have the courage to just be human, like you, like me, I'm sure, like the majority of your followers. And I just hope that you know how important you are in the grand scheme of things. Because without people like you, humanity doesn't have a chance. And like I said, not to terrify you guys, but if we, the children of the light, children of love, do not come together and work as a collective to bring the light back to the people of the world, like Nick, that's I need your help with that, bro. I don't want to, like, piggyback off your following, but if I can just help mentor or just, like, just help guide you to a point where I know you can be, and I know when you get there, like, oh my gosh, like, just what you're gonna do, like, that's all I hope. And this isn't, I'm not here to charge you or anything like that. I know, like, I just want you to know I was just so moved, and I know that something brought me here to you. And I know that that's my ability just to help you get to the next tier, So, if any of these words just resonate with you, I'll be totally grateful for that. But again, if you want to take this leap of faith with me and see if, I'm talking bullshit or if maybe I know what I'm talking about. And I guess we'll just go from there. But whatever you choose to do, bro, just keep doing you, because what you are doing with you is beautiful. So God bless you. I love you. And I hope that in the near future, we will be able to meet just on a more one-on-one. I would love that. So again, Charles Pang. My phone number is 720-384-7906. Give me a call. I screen my calls, so if it goes to voicemail, just say, hey, this is Nick, and I will hit you back up, bro. Trust me on that. So again, God bless you, and keep up the good work.